I'm Reen Schwarzer, and you're listening to the Giant Sword Podcast. Microphones, activate!
Hello, and welcome to this week's Giant Sword Podcast. I'm your party leader, Nick. Joining me today is Taylor. What is up, Taylor?
What up, Nick?
The usual. Living, working, sleeping, eating.
Oh, yeah. I hear you.
Yeah. Been playing, I was playing a lot of my PS5 lately.
Oh, I'm jealous. I need to get me one of those.
I bought Returnal.
Oh, really? I didn't know if that was your kind of game. What do you think?
It's definitely a Taylor game.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Why
do you say that?
It's a roguelike game.
I hear it's really hard, though, and kind of frustrating.
It's very difficult. But you get into a run like I did. I got into like a 5-hour run and I just beat the game. Quote unquote beat the game. And then I'm like, oh wait, I didn't beat the game. It's still going.
Oh, it's okay when it's one of those kind of games. Huh?
It didn't really end because it was like, oh, this is just part of it. It's like, oh, now I'm on the next level.
Interesting. That's what I hear. I hear you like quote unquote beat the game, but then there's more to the story. I heard the story's actually pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, it better be. It was $70. And then I bought Crash Bandicoot 4, which was on sale. I was waiting for it to be on sale, and it was on sale. I'm like, I'm getting it now.
Another game that I've heard is pretty hard, but pretty good.
Yeah. Pretty good. No JRPGs, though. No JRPGs.
How dare you?
I know. I'm an awful person. Awful host
of JRPG podcast, and he's not playing the JRPG.
Exactly. Soon I will. Because I heard that the Tales of Azure English patch has come out.
Oh yeah, it came out a couple days ago.
So I'm gonna do that probably really soon. I'm probably gonna do that tonight. Gotta play it. Gotta finish it. Even though I know the main twist bad guy from Cold Steel 4, but okay, it's all good.
Play the game.
Yeah, I just gotta play the game. I know exactly. Just play the game just to see how it leads up to that. Speaking of JRPGs that I didn't expect anyone to play, I don't even know where that came from. Taylor, you've randomly reviewed Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne HD Remix Duodecim.
Yeah, it's a mouthful. I did, yeah. I mean, see, I think I wanted to bring the perspective I brought to my review is where I thought a lot of people were coming from, which is, oh, I'm really into Persona, and I've heard about these Shin Megami Tensei games, and people always talk about Nocturne being one of the best ones, so I want to check it out. And it's not hard per se. It's just very PS2 level design, very tedious. It's like there's a lot of those dungeons where it's like, okay, you take 3 paths in this dungeon. If you go down the wrong one, it just sends you back to the beginning, and it's just a bunch of trial and error. So it was just annoying. It just wasn't very fun.
It just going to the Tartarus.
But I would trade the Tartarus for this, because at least the Tartarus is kind of straightforward. It's got a bunch of more annoying mechanics, honestly, but that's okay. It's for some people, wasn't for me. I like the story though. I think you might actually like the story because it's very dark. It almost feels like a horror RPG. Like starting off, it was awesome. You have to meet your friends at this abandoned hospital, and you're looking for your teacher. And then like the further you go into the basement, you see a bunch of like weird stuff. And I'm like, oh my god, this is super cool. And then it's like, oh yeah, you're not gonna have story for another like 3 hours. I'm like, oh, okay. So,
I mean,
yeah,
it was it was expected that you would not. That was not a Taylor game.
True,
but
I had to see what it was all about.
Exactly, it's a good idea to just review it in the Taylor way.
Yep, I'm surprised I haven't gotten more negative comments, but I try to be pretty fair, or at least try to present, my side of things pretty fairly, but
Where you're like, I'm a very unique case, so this is from my unique perspective. This is not the game in general, just from my perspective. Is that what you went with the review?
I mean, that's what it ended up being, yeah. Because I think a lot of people were reviewing it as a remaster. Like, here is all the things it's doing as a remaster. I was reviewing it as a game on a whole, which is, I don't know if that's what people were looking for or if that's the best way to do it. But I mean, I didn't play it on the PS2, so all I can do is bring my point of view. So yeah, for me, it was like I said, coming from Persona, I know SMT shares a lot of similarities because Persona came from SMT. Uh, but yeah, ultimately it's basically a dungeon crawler, like a straight up dungeon crawler.
Yeah. Most Shin Megamis are like that. I like how you found out. It's like, oh yeah, this is way more archaic in the PS2 version. You're like, you kidding me? Like, there's some things that are just even harder, like skills you cannot being able to pick the skills you transfer or something like that.
Yeah, so apparently, I mean, Shadow had to tell me this, but apparently that got patched in the Japanese version after the fact. That wasn't even supposed to be in the remaster. So it got patched in because people were so annoyed. It was random before. Because in Persona, when you do a demon fusion, you get to pick which skills transfer over. It's
Yeah.
like the same system, but previously, I guess it was random, but now you get to choose. One thing that did not get patched, I didn't mention this in my review, I probably should have, but there is another element of randomness that happens. So sometimes if you level up a skill, it'll say like, oh, let's just take Pyrojack wants to change a skill. Will you let him? One, it doesn't tell you what's going to change, and two, it doesn't tell you what it's going to change into. So almost like 100% of the time, I just said no because I'm like, I like my setup, and I don't want it to randomly change to a skill that's useless or whatever.
Wait. But
So that
in Persona, did they used to show you? It never used to show me. I don't remember it ever showing me what it was going to change into. Was there a way to see it? I don't remember. I know it.
I mean,
I remember it tells you which skill is going to change, but I don't remember it telling me what it was going to change into.
I don't even know if Persona ever did that because I feel like Persona was always like Pokemon, where it's like, oh, Pyrojack wants to learn Agilo, and so then you pick which skill it overwrites. I always thought it was like that. I could be wrong. It's been a couple years since I played Persona, but that's how I thought it was.
It was like how did it go? Man, it's been so long since I played Persona, but I think it's when you like when you make a Persona, right? And you level it up with a social link. And
Oh yeah,
when you level
yeah.
it up, it goes, oh, this is sometimes a skill goes, this skill wants to upgrade, wants to change. Do you want it to? And then you're like, okay.
Okay. I guess to me, I always thought it was at least in the same family of skills, not just something totally different. Because here it's like totally different.
Sometimes
they'll
it's
change
totally
like an
different.
attack skill to like yeah, okay, then maybe it was like that, but yep, kind of silly. But
Dang RNG stuff.
Yeah. And I think it's a little too pricey for a remaster. It's $50. And I understand they added voice acting and all that, but from like an actual remaster perspective, they didn't add a ton of quality of life stuff. And in fact, they didn't even remaster the cutscenes. They're still 4:3, and I don't even think they're in HD. They look really bad.
Yeah, that probably just because they're FMVs and no way to find the raw files of those.
And I mean, Kingdom Hearts did it, if I'm not mistaken. And same with some of the Final Fantasies. But again, that's Square.
Yeah, they probably have those things archived somewhere.
Yep. Well, yeah. In any event, if you're into those kind of games, maybe wait for a sale. Just because personally, I don't think it's worth almost full price. But yeah, that's just. And to me, there's too many other good games coming out, either soon or are already out that I feel like you could spend your time and money on. So
give us some examples.
One man's perspective.
Give us some examples.
Well, for example, I recommend at the end of my video, I recommended Persona 5 Strikers. So I think that's a way better game. But I mean, that's right up my alley. I love Persona. I love action games. I love Musou games. So I would say that Ys 9. Ys 9's coming out, I think pretty soon for Switch and PC. So Ys 9's really great. Monster Hunter. And then I know I have a list. Hold on. Let's look at the upcoming JRPGs. Yeah, so we've got Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. If for some reason you haven't played Intergrade, that comes out in a couple weeks.
But you also
Scarlet
need
Nexus.
you need a PS5 for that, though.
I know. It's yeah. It's one of those things where I'm like trying to balance. Like I know I have some YouTube money coming in, and then we're like waiting to get paid for some projects. So I'm just trying to be careful for the next like week and so. But I mean, I definitely want to grab it. I had one in my cart yesterday because Best Buy put some up. I was like, should I do it? I don't know. And so I just didn't end up doing it. But maybe maybe I'll get lucky, or I'll just cave and buy one on eBay for a stupid amount.
Don't get one for a stupid amount. Get one that's close.
What's a not stupid amount?
Like I bought mine for $600, so it's only like $100 more.
Oh,
so
did you do like a bid on it? I guess.
Yeah, but for some reason, no
one
one
now they're like 800.
Yeah, no one was bidding on it, and I think it was because it said on the box, it's like the box is messed up. Like, I don't care about that. If the thing works, it works, and so like pink.
Yep. Cool.
Yep, I got it, and it works just fine. It's huge, and why is it so big?
That's what she said.
All right, Shin Megami Tensei. Should I play it, Taylor? What do you think?
Ooh, I don't know. I mean, do you like dungeon crawlers?
I don't really play them, really.
I mean, that's mainly what it is. It's like there's a little bit of story. It's like, oh, it's the apocalypse now. We got to stop the bad guy. We think he's at this place. Okay, so we go to the place and then you dungeon crawl and you do some puzzles, fight a boss. Oh, he's not there. Oh, we got to go somewhere else. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's not like a JRPG where you're like running around towns or anything like that.
It's just a
But I will say it like art style wise, it holds up really well, and I would say it looks even better than like Persona 4 Golden or like Persona 3 even. Like just the art style I think looks better. So from a visual perspective, I don't think it looks bad. It's just design wise. How much patience do you have?
I have plenty of patience. Now, being awake, that's a difference. It's hard for me to stay awake now.
Yeah. I understand.
All right. So first, this is a new rumor about a new Final Fantasy game. I want to put this out for you guys. Answer in the comments below, or on Twitter, or on Discord. Just tell us if there's a leak about a JRPG for E3 or anything like that. Do you want us to talk about it, or do you want us to talk about it when it's actually officially announced? So, yeah, just give us an answer, and we'll do it that way. But this set of news, we're going to say anyway, just for starters. Apparently, there is a rumor where Square Enix is going to make a action RPG Final Fantasy. Which, I mean, that's all they're doing anyway. They're already doing that with Final Fantasy 16. But it says the rumor says that this is more in lieu of Souls or Neo.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, and it's going to be made by it's going to be a coalition with Team Ninja and coalition. Collaboration. Yeah, and it's in the first Final Fantasy games world, called Final Fantasy Origin. Taylor, remember playing that game and there was no Phoenix sounds? There better be Phoenix sounds in this game.
Yeah, right? They're better.
But what do you think?
I think there will be.
What do you think about this? So this is a rumor, but they said that things leaked out, like the freaking logo for Final Fantasy Origin, so it's pretty much confirmed.
Oh, really? There's a logo? I didn't see that.
Yeah, so let me see. Let me see if I can find it. It says here that...
I find the name funny because if you remember, there is a PS1 collection called Final Fantasy Origin or Origins or whatever, and I'm like, oh, they're bringing back the remastered PS1 games. Sweet.
Yeah, it's right there. And didn't like one of them have like randomly have Chrono Trigger on it?
Yeah, I think so. Doesn't make any sense, but that's okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's Final Fantasy VII Origin. I don't know. I mean, I don't see the logo, so
Okay. I was gonna say,
it's
wow, they leaked the logo leaked already. That's crazy. But yeah, I know the name did. So I with stuff like this, I always feel like when there's smoke, there's fire, especially when a couple people are reporting on it.
So is this E3 just gonna be, or Square Enix E3 just gonna be Super Final Fantasy? They're gonna show Final Fantasy 16, Final Fantasy Remake, 7 Remake 2 Part 2, and then this Final Fantasy Origin. Is that what's gonna happen?
I guess so. I'm okay with that.
There's gonna be Final Fantasy'd out, man.
Bring it on, baby.
But what about this? What does this interest you at all?
I mean, yeah, it definitely has me interested. I want to know more because just Final Fantasy with Souls combat based around the first game world or the world from the first game. On paper, that sounds interesting, but I need to see the gameplay because I didn't like Neo was a little too hard for me. I've tried both Neo and Neo 2, and the reason I'm saying that is because Team Ninja made those games. So I don't. If it's going to be that hard, I don't want to play it. But I liked Bloodborne a lot, which is hard. So I think it depends on how high they're cranking the difficulty up.
Does it have to be dark? Does it have to be a dark, decrepit Final Fantasy, or is it going to be light and happy and colorful?
I don't know. I feel like having that kind of gameplay with a light, happy, colorful game feels at odds with each other, but it's hard to say, right? We don't know much, but on paper, I'm intrigued, for sure. So, it's Team Ninja does good work, generally speaking, and yeah, it's so funny how they're like, oh, it's taking it in an action direction. It's like Final Fantasy's been action for like 5 years now, so It's not like this is some brand new thing or something.
It's like, have you not seen the freaking trailer for Final Fantasy 16? Come on, people, come on!
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, no, I mean, I'm intrigued, and I definitely believe it for sure, but I need to wait to see more before making any calls on this. And I will say it's very weird that they're going back to Final Fantasy 1 to do this. I don't know. I figured like why if they're gonna do a spin-off, why not just do a brand new world or something? So that is interesting to me, like why they feel like they need to go back to 1. But
Didn't I do it?
It's Dave. Hello, Dave.
Yeah. Dad? No. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, what do you think? Excuse me. But what do you think? What do you make of this rumor?
Just more Final Fantasy. I mean, if anything, it just feels like if this is real, it feels like they're kind of taking team or what's it called, resources away from Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2, which kind of makes me mad.
No, this is a totally different team, though.
I know, but still, it's I know, but still, like it feels like this would take away stuff from them,
Mm.
But it looks like it's. But from what it says in the leak, it seems like it's farther along than. Like it's probably going to be coming out this year, kind of thing.
That would be crazy. I hadn't even thought of a release window.
Yeah,
because it's like you said, it's like 7 Remake Part 2, which is probably not coming out till late next year or early the year after. I think we're still a ways away from Part 2. And then 16, like when's 16 coming out? So yeah, as long as they can space them out, that's my only concern. I want to make sure I have time to play all these.
Of course you have time to play all these. You don't do anything.
I know. It's not like I have a business or a
I know.
YouTube channel to run.
All
I
you
just
do,
sit in
all
my
you do
bar
is
all
sit in
day.
that chair right there, and
Just
yep,
that's it. That's all I
that's
do.
it. That's it. It's all right. But speaking of E3, isn't E3 going all online this year?
It is. And I don't know what that means exactly. Um, and I have an interesting perspective, if you don't mind me sharing this. I've been starting to get invites already from publishers. They're like, "Oh, do you want to talk to this dev team at E3?" And I'm like, "Okay, do I need to have an E3 badge? Do I need to like show it to you on the Zoom call? Like, how does this work?" And so I guess what's happening, it probably varies by publisher, but this one that I talked to, they're like, "Oh, just set up a time with us and it'll just be in the E3 window, but you don't need to like show your badge or anything." It's very weird. I don't know what you get from having a badge yet, or like what are you paying for? So it's very strange. But what's exciting is a lot of publishers are participating. So looks like there will be some things to see at the very least.
It's good. What do you expect, other than all the Final Fantasies?
Um, JRPG wise, let's see. I want to see some Rune Factory 5 at E3 if we don't get something before then, because it's out in Japan already. So I would like to get a release date. That would be awesome.
Get on that. What Exceed?
Come on. I know, right? Let's see. Maybe some Shin. I mean, we were just talking about this, but Shin Megami Tensei 5 still needs to be.
Show.
We haven't seen gameplay yet, so that would be nice.
The Switch is gonna be dead and gone, and Shin Megami Tensei 5 is still not out.
I know, right? The Super Switch will be out. It's like, oh yeah, the thing we announced at the opening ceremony or whatever the hell you wanted to call that thing. Still not out. Let's see. Digimon Survive would be kind of cool to see. That's been missing in action a really long time.
Do you want to see more Tales of Arise, or have you got your fill of it?
I'm good. I mean, I already know I want to play it day one. Same with Scarlet Nexus. But yeah, I don't need to see more Tales of Arise. And if they show anything, I'm not going to watch it. So, what about you? I know that's obviously you're a big Tales fan. You usually don't watch trailers anyway, though, right?
Yeah, I don't watch anything. I saw the gameplay. I'm like, okay, I got it. Then I'm done. It's already pre-ordered, and I'm gonna play it. So,
Nice.
what I want to see the medieval Atlas game.
Oh my God, Project Fanasy. That thing's been, yeah, we haven't seen anything of that. That's a good one.
I want to see that. Final Fantasy Tactics 2.
Oh, well, but we could see Project Triangle Strategy.
Yeah, maybe it's actually gonna have a name, and it's gonna be Triangle Strategy.
That would be, man, please don't call it that. I don't care because I'm gonna get it day one anyway. But like, that's such a dumb name.
But speaking of that game, is it going to be coming to other systems? Because Octopath did.
Yeah, which is weird. Isn't Octopath on Xbox now?
It's Xbox and PC, I think.
Yeah, and Stadia, I think, weirdly enough. But not PlayStation. That is, I feel like of all the consoles, it's the most at home on PlayStation. So I don't know why they haven't brought that to PlayStation yet. That's very weird.
Because PlayStation only has third-person action-adventure games. That's it.
That's right. That's all they care about.
That's all they care about now. They only care about making money.
Yeah.
Which is why...
no JRPGs. It's not like Final Fantasy VII Remake is an exclusive.
I know. It just, all they care about is making money. Well, that just makes them money, right?
Weird. It's like they're a business or something.
They haven't had a PSX since 2018? That was the bad one, right?
Yeah.
And then they stopped doing it.
Yep, that bummed me out. I because those first couple were so fun.
Yeah.
But now it seems like they don't care about stuff like that, which is a shame. But hopefully we can be proven wrong.
It's sad to see companies that go like that, you know. Because Blizzard's going the same way. Blizzard was awesome doing its BlizzCons and everything, and now Blizzard's not Blizzard anymore. And
Well, literally, a lot of those guys are gone. They all quit,
Yeah.
or they went somewhere else or whatever.
Yeah, Blizzard is now just fully. It's been completely taken over by Activision. It's sad. It is sad.
Yep. What a shame.
What a shame. Oh. What do I want to see? But if Sony, did have balls, they would show off Legend of Dragoon remake.
That would be funny.
I mean, they could make it into a third-person action-adventure game, couldn't they?
Sure, yeah, make it a third-person RPG, they could.
Yeah, exactly. They couldn't do it. They'll make money. And that put zombies in there.
Especially if, like, Blue Point does it,
It's too late. I mean, Blue Point's... What were they... Oh, wait, Blue Point. Yeah, never mind. What were they working on? Oh, they did the Demon Souls one.
Demon Souls, yeah. Which is so... I always thought that was a weird choice. For one, as a launch game, and two, it's like Demon Souls, really? That's probably the most, or the least celebrated of the Souls games, so...
Oh, you know why, right? Because Sony owns that.
Well, I know that, but it's like... why not do Bloodborne 2? Or, like, they could have remade anything else. To me, that was just a weird choice.
It's because no one really played the Souls game, the Demon Souls, You know what's
funny is Sony didn't even publish it in North America. Atlas did, because they didn't think anybody would buy it.
Yeah, Sony really effed up there. That's why they became Dark Souls.
But then they made Bloodborne.
Yeah.
So it's like...
What is Bloodborne 2?
Okay. Dude, right? Bloodborne 2... At the very least, they should patch it so it can run at 60 on PS5. That would be awesome.
From Software needs to get its act together and make freaking Armored Core 6. I mean, come on.
You want to talk about games that don't sell?
Yeah. Armored Core 6. There we go. That's what everyone wants.
And by everyone, you mean you and Connor.
Not even Connor. Just me.
It's just little old me.
Little old me. And RPG Maker 4 on the PS3 or PS5. There
you go. RPG Maker 4. That's funny.
They did release an RPG Maker for like the Switch and the PS4.
Yeah, what was it called? Like VX or XV. Something?
I have it.
XV.
Yeah, I have it. It's just a port of the PC one onto the console. That's cool. I mean, you could make battle system into like a Final Fantasy VI style, so that's interesting.
Oh, side view.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Instead of being Dragon Quest. So did you beat Shin Megami Tensei 3, or did you just play like a little bit of it to get your bearings?
I played a couple dozen hours, so I mean, I feel like at that point I was comfortable enough giving an opinion, because it wasn't changing really like what it was doing. So I was like, if I'm just in for 30 more hours of this, like, I don't think so. I'm just not gonna waste my time.
Actually, you gotta wait 60 hours to get the real twist, and that's how the game really starts.
Speaking of that, can we talk about that? Because that's what people have been saying to me with Nier. So I've been playing the Nier Replicant remaster, and I'm like, it's not bad. Like, I have like nothing. It's not actively doing something negative, but it's just like kind of slow. And I'm like, okay. And I just keep hearing it's like, oh, it gets freaking insane, man. And I'm like, I'm waiting. I'm still waiting. And I am at the point in my life where if a game is not good within a reasonable set of time, I don't feel like I owe the game anything to keep playing. Unless it's like a review and I'm like, I've only put in a couple hours. I need to put a couple dozen hours into this, especially if it's an RPG, to really get an idea. Like with Nocturne, right? Like if I wasn't reviewing it, I probably would have played way fewer hours. But because I was reviewing, I'm like, okay, I really gotta put some time into this to get a good perspective. But with Nier, I'm like this close to selling it or trading it in, because I really want to play Resident Evil Village. I still haven't played that yet. But I mean, where do you sit on like waiting for games to get good? Do you just power through a game anyway and you're like, I'm done? Or do you go, no, I'm not going to waste more time and I'm going to play something I actually enjoy?
I usually, if I'm not actively thinking about that, but if I just stop playing a game, that's usually because it's not holding my attention and something else grabbed it.
Yeah.
Like Ys 9. So I was really into playing that game, and then I got my PS5 and transferred everything over, and ever since I did that, I stopped playing Ys 9.
Oh,
Even though all my stuff is on the PS5, I can play it on the PS5 just fine.
and they patched it on PS5 too, so apparently it looks and runs better too.
Oh, okay. It looked and ran just fine. Anyway, I wonder what they did.
No, I agree. To me, it wasn't too bad.
I need to get back into that because I need to find out what that freaking twist is, because there is a twist. I want to know what it is. So I got to do that again.
It's an interesting one for sure.
It's interesting. It's an interesting twist.
Yeah.
But yeah, I need to get in the zone to play some RPGs. I feel like I want to play RPGs, but it's just like whenever I want to play a game, it's just like I just want to turn my brain off and blow things up.
I know what you mean. Yeah, because sometimes it's like, okay, I got to remember, like, where am I in the story? What am I doing? So sometimes, yeah, if you get out of a routine with an RPG, it's really it's really hard to get back into the flow of it. I know what you mean. It's like,
it's also because if I'm playing like something like Apex, when I'm in the zone and I'm playing it, like, it's keeping me awake because I'm getting like all the adrenaline in and the fast-paced combat. But when I'm playing an RPG, I'm going through the story, and my body now after work, I can't stay awake sometimes, so it's really hard for me to focus on an RPG. I really want to, but it's like, just can't. I don't want to do this game a disservice and not pay attention to it.
That's fair. I get that.
It's not fun. I really want to play. I'm sorry, guys. Soon. Just like that poll I posted on Twitter and the Discord. It's a little hint of stuff to come. I think that's it from now. Let's do some questions.
All right.
Hookah Lakonk asks, have any of you ever tried a JRPG a long time ago and found you weren't into it, but then you tried it again years later and loved it? If so, what games?
I've seen questions like this a lot, and I always think about it, and I can't really... Usually, the further I get away from a game, the less likely I am to enjoy it. Especially if it's an old game, like a PS1 game or something like that.
Mine. I have one.
A game that you came back to that you... Yeah. Oh yeah, you tell me yours.
Yeah, I definitely have one. I mean, it wasn't like a long period, but I got Persona 4 Golden when it came out, and I wasn't into it at all. I played it, and I'm like, okay, whatever, I'm done. It's like I played like barely an hour of it, and it wasn't hooking me. And then I don't know how many months later, it was on a Tahoe trip. I brought my Vita, started playing Persona 4 Golden on it. And then I don't know why. It must have just been the setting of, the snow's falling, there's a fire, I'm playing my Vita, playing some RPGs, and I got hooked. That's all I did on that trip when I was in the cabin, was just play on my Vita and play Persona 4 Golden, and it became one of my favorite games. Holy moly. Nice. Yeah, I remember when I first played it, I was like, man, because I knew, I watched you play the PS2 one, right? And I wanted to try it. I'm like, yeah, I guess this is not for me. I'm not really into it. But then it hooked me when I was on.
You're at the Tahoe.
Yeah, you're at the Tahoe. I think this actually goes into one of the next questions. Like that actually. Yeah, yeah, but I'm not gonna go into it right now.
Okay.
But what about you? Has anything come to mind?
Man, I rarely come back to games like that. Usually I kind of make a decision like, oh, I don't like it and I'm gonna move on. I'm trying I I'm trying to think if there's ever been a time where I really didn't like a game. I mean, okay, here's a good one.
Oh, I got another one too.
For you?
Yeah, but you go with yours.
So here, this maybe isn't quite the same thing, but so I remember when Final Fantasy 12 came out for the PS2, I was like, okay, it's fine. I wasn't super into it, but
Dude,
then
I remember you
when
playing
they
it
did
though.
the
You were playing it at Brian's 21st birthday. I remember that.
Final Fantasy 12.
Final Fantasy 12, yeah. I don't know how far you
Okay.
were into the game, but you were definitely playing it. But you never beat it.
No, I never beat the PS2 version, and then the Zodiac Age remaster came out, and I loved that. And now, granted, it changes some things, it makes it more playable, and I fell in love with it. And it's like now one of my favorite Final Fantasies. So I don't know if that counts again because it's a remaster, but it's more. I mean, it's still kind of the same game. It's just they changed the job system, and you have the ability to speed up combat. So I guess that would be my answer. Yeah, is
I'll
Final
say
Fantasy 12.
I'll say that's a good it's an answer. It's a light though. It's a light answer because it changed stuff, but it
Yeah.
works. My other one is Trails in the Sky, first chapter.
Ah, okay.
Because I played it on the PSP, and I did not enjoy it one bit.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know what was
Wow.
up. Because I enjoyed. I remember because it was a Legend of Heroes, and I knew a Legend of Heroes from the PSP, like the first one, Tear Vermilion, and I really enjoyed
Mhm.
that. So I don't know what it was that really irked me the wrong way with the PSP version of Trails in the Sky. I think it was because the menus and everything were blurry. Like the game just
Oh,
seemed
interesting.
blurry on PSP, and it just felt off.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
so when I played it on the PC, I was like, oh, this fixes everything. I
Nice
get
and shiny HD.
yeah, exactly. Everything's all smooth and runs great, and I can actually see what I'm doing. But yeah, and I enjoyed the gameplay and everything. And I did notice I did have to get used to it because I noticed that the crafts weren't doing that much damage. It was a very arts focused game, so
Hmm.
that was coming from because I played in the sky after I played Cold Steel, which in Cold Steel crafts are really good. Yeah, that's one
Yeah.
question. Next question. Oh, Spaghetti asks, did any of us pick up the Mass Effect remaster?
Nope.
Nope.
Not
Nope.
that I'm uninterested, although I am pretty uninterested. I just, yeah, nope.
The only one that I played was the second one,
Same. Yep.
and that's okay. Like I remember I think I've said this on the podcast that where is the like the HD remastered for the for Mass Effect and on PS4, and now that it's out, I'm like, meh.
Way too long.
I don't know. I don't know why. Like maybe in the future, if it once everything's all like patched together and works, I'll get it. But I'm not really. I'm not in a hurry to play it.
Sure. Makes
Jalapeno
sense.
asks, "What are your top 5 badass grannies in JRPGs? Alternatively, non-badass as well."
Hmm.
I don't remember a bunch of grannies.
Neither do I. I'm trying to think of one. Hmm.
Could they be evil?
I mean, sure. It doesn't say they can't be.
Forgot her name, but it's one of the. It's like an old lady granny who's like a typical like the model like a typical old lady granny, but she's like an evil witch, like sorceress,
Hmm.
and she's like super powerful. But then like the way she dies is just her boss just shoots her with lightning, and she just dies instantly. And this is in Shadow Hearts, the original.
Mhm.
And like I just love how one of the bad guys is just an old granny,
Huh.
and she's just a super powerful evil wizard or witch.
Yeah, I mean,
Does it only have to be grandmas? Can it be grandpas?
it says specifically it says grannies.
Grannies. Is there many?
Because the only other character I can think of, and I don't know if she's technically a grandma or not, and she's not really that badass, is that landlady from Final Fantasy VII Remake? I don't even know her name,
Oh,
but she doesn't even really do anything.
Yeah, she didn't really do anything. Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of any grannies. So, you guys post grannies from JRPGs in the comments or on Discord. I want to know how many grannies there are in JRPGs, because for some reason, I can't think of any, except for that one in Shadow Hearts. I'm still thinking, I just can't.
Yep. I just feel like JRPGs don't. It just seems to go against the genre because it's all about the waifus. You know, like why would you want a granny?
I mean, there's a lot of badass grannies in anime, but not in JRPGs on my mind. Leconque also asked, "What is each of your best 3 pieces of advice for anyone just getting into JRPGs for the first time?"
Best pieces of advice. That's interesting.
1, make your surrounding distraction free. Get rid of your phone. Get rid of play. Don't be on a computer or not. Don't have like something on the side like a TV, like a YouTube or anything. Focus specifically on the game so you get engrossed in it. And also, okay. I also noticed that the setting that you're in also helps a lot. Like it's raining outside, or you turn off all the lights, make it comfy. It's really cool inside your room. Get out of your room, make have a gaming room or like a play in the living room.
Yeah,
I noticed that this your environment also helps a lot.
That's true. No, I mean definitely. I mean, when there's a game that I'm really excited about, I'll close all the blinds and make sure the room's pitch black and put headphones on, really get into it. So I know what you mean. Like that can really add to a game's experience for sure. I would say for me, and this is you're probably gonna scoff at this, but don't feel bad about putting it on easy. Especially if you're just starting and you're trying to get a grasp of everything. I mean, there are some games by default, like Pokemon, that are pretty easy. But if you're having a tough time, but you're enjoying everything else, and you're like, this combat system or whatever, I can't wrap my head around it. Don't feel bad about putting it on easy, especially if you're enjoying yourself. Because I feel like
I think that's only applicable. I can't talk right now.
You had that right. Applicable
to action RPGs.
I mean, turn-based can be pretty brutal depending on which one you're playing.
Just don't put it on hard. Keep it normal, easy.
That's Nick's advice. Listen to me. It's okay to put it on easy. It's fine.
No, it's not fine.
What are some other best 3 pieces of advice?
Yeah, I still have one to go. I would say know your limits. If you're not into anime, then you're not going to be really especially now. Back in the day, you could be into JRPGs if you're not into anime, but now most JRPGs it's like playing anime. A lot of anime influences in it, especially in Tales games, Persona, Trails, stuff like that. Back in the day, it wasn't like that. Or we didn't even know. It didn't even register because anime wasn't really a thing back in the 90s. I mean, guys, stop your yelling. I know it was a thing. I watched Tensei in the 90s, okay? I know. And Ranma. I know.
Not like it is today, though.
Yeah,
it was totally different.
Totally different. Like really bad dubs kind of stuff. So yeah, know your limits. if you have a really bad attention span, don't play PS1 JRPGs because they're going to be archaic and you're not going to focus on them. Really, even PS2 JRPGs are hard to focus if you have a really bad attention span.
Yeah, if you decide you want to play a PS2 JRPG, if it's a game that has your attention, it probably has a remaster of some kind. Like all the Final Fantasies, Persona, yeah, there's typically there's some remaster. Even like Dragon Quest 8, I call it a demaster because it's on 3DS, but that even has some, quality of life updates and stuff like that. So, yeah, most of the good ones on PS2 have some kind of HD something rather. Kingdom Hearts.
Except for Persona 3.
That's true. Persona 3 does not. I'd say give it enough time and they're going to bring that to PC because Persona 4 sold so well on Steam that they'd be done. If they're not already working on a port of Persona 5 and Persona 3, they're stupid.
Yeah. There has to, there has to. But there are a lot of games that are definitely not going to get ports. These are going to be the ones that are like cult classics.
Yeah. Like Radiata Stories, I would be shocked if they ever remastered that. But that's a fun game.
Yeah, Legend of Legaia stuff. Vandal Hearts. They're never going to bring Final Fantasy Tactics to PC, are they?
I still don't understand that, but
it doesn't make any sense. They put it on a damn iPad. They could put it on a PC.
It's true.
It's true. It's true. Josiah Otaku asks, upon further inspection of the Tales game sales charts, I noticed that North America, Japan, and Europe all had different top-selling games. Symphonia, Destiny, and Zestiria. I thought this may have had to do with the themes of the games after recently playing Zestiria, which has some strong European mythology themes. How important do you think the themes are? Do you prefer more Japanese-themed games or ones dealing with other countries' mythologies?
That's interesting. I mean, I don't really have a preference as long as the storytelling is good, although I do enjoy when games have more of like a Japanese influence, like Persona, it's in Tokyo. Like Ghost of Tsushima, not a JRPG per se, but it takes place in like feudal Japan and has a lot of those aesthetics. So yeah, I take that back. I guess I do prefer something that's more Japanesey, for lack of a better term.
Me, I don't really care. I think people, since Japanese got all the Tales games, all of them were released in Japan, obviously. So they didn't have to. They didn't have. What's to say? They didn't have droughts of Tales games, so they obviously picked the best game, which is Destiny. It's obvious.
Yeah,
it's like there's no denying it. You think I'm doing it out of bias, but it's not. It's probably not even Destiny on the PS1. That's probably Destiny on the PS2. Or that's combined.
That would make sense.
Or it's combined. Yeah. But the US, I mean, even though we got Destiny and Eternia, which is Destiny 2 on the PS1, it didn't get popular until it came out on the GameCube, which is weird because GameCube didn't have a big install base, and yet it still got huge.
Yeah, that's the one I guess I don't understand that one either. Because you typically, when you think of a particular game, it's like it was either one of the first ones or like, excuse me, let me back up. When you think of a particular game in a series as becoming popular, it's either one of the first ones that we got or like one of the first ones on a console, because people always say Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 10. And so yeah, it is weird that Symphonia blew up when that console didn't do well.
It also sucks because that gave the impression that only the 3D Tales games sell. Which is why we only got 3D Tales games. Jesus. Because Tales of Destiny came out at the same time Final Fantasy 7 came out on the PS1. And Tales of Destiny 1 seems like a souped up Super Nintendo game. That's the graphics it had. And that's not a bad thing. It just, everyone was like, ooh, look at the newfangled 3D graphics. Look at those blocky hands and blocky bodies.
I mean, we just there hadn't been a game like that
Yeah.
at the time,
It
so
just-
I mean, it makes sense.
So that is why I did not those didn't sell very well, because all the Tales games were 2D, and then most of the JRPGs that people fondly remember are 3D. If you think about it, except for Chrono Trigger, but that was Super Nintendo, so it doesn't count.
Yeah, like as far as 2D on the PlayStation 1, there just weren't that many. Because it's like they want to take advantage of the new hardware. We're going 3D, let's make a 3D game. I mean, there are some. I mean, I was gonna say Grandia, but Grandia is not really even a 3D because the environments are 2D. Lunar? Lunar.
Oh, Lunar. That's because people were nostalgic because it was on the Saturn. I think it was on the Sega Saturn.
Either the Saturn or the Sega CD.
Yeah,
I think it was the Sega Saturn, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, I'm thinking about it now. Wow, there weren't really many 2D games.
I mean, because the whole thing with the PlayStation 1 was we can make 3D games now. So everybody was trying it. I mean, it totally makes sense.
I mean, Grandia was 3D, but the sprites were 2D.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
same with Xenogears did that.
Yeah. Proletariat asks, what's the horniest JRPG you've ever played, and what did you think of it as a game?
That's a weird question.
Didn't you play Conception 2?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's tamer than you think it would be. Weirdly enough. I want to say for my answer it would be Nier Automata. And the reason I say that is because like they have things in that game with a horny mindset. So for example, like if you try to look up 2B's skirt, she like whips around or kicks the camera or something like that. And then there's a move where you can like make her explode and like her dress falls off so you can just like straight up see her butt, you know? So I would say Nier Automata for me. And what did I think of it as a game? I think it's a good game. It was a little frustrating at times, but I liked it.
It has loot elements. I don't think it's a horny JRPG.
I guess it's hard to. I don't know what that means by horny JRPG.
It's like playing Rants or something like that. And if people know what I'm talking about, how dare you? How dare you? You degenerate. Don't look it up. Don't look it up.
Then you shouldn't have said anything.
No,
Sorry.
I'm gonna save you. I'm gonna save your virgin eyes.
God.
What's that other one? It was like a PS3 era RPG.
Oh, Akiba's Trip.
No, not that
Where
one.
you're ripping their clothes off?
Not that
that
one.
one's pretty horny too.
Is that really a JRPG? It's more like an action game though.
Yeah.
No, the really weird name. Air Clohagi something. Oh my god, I don't remember.
Oh, Artanelico?
yeah, I think that's it.
Nelavar
Yeah, that
Seal
one.
or something?
Yeah, that one. I think
Okay.
that one's lewd. I don't remember. I heard rumors it was. So
Okay. I don't know anything about that game other than it's got a weird name.
I do think that the horniest one that you played, Taylor, is probably Conception 2 because that's the entire premise of the game.
Yeah. I mean, on paper, it's like Persona, but not really.
For me, though, I don't know. The horniest character was Magilu, I guess.
Oh, really? Interesting.
No, she's not funny. I'm joking. No, great. Now I'm gonna get odds commenting on this. Oh god. I don't know. I guess playing any like dating simulator game, you gotta sit for your waifus, you know. By dating
True.
simulator, I'm talking about like Rune Factory or Persona
Or Fire Emblem.
or Fire Emblem or what's it called? Oh my gosh, whatever. Kartacha asks, do you play indie Japanese style RPGs, and what are your favorite ones? The only one that I've played was Cosmic Star Heroine.
Same. Yeah. It's funny that they brought this up because I just recorded a VO thing for a collaboration on somebody else's channel, and they said the same. They asked me like, "Oh, what's your favorite indie JRPG?" I'm like, I can only think of one. And there's more coming, which is cool.
Give us
There's Sea of Stars,
everyone.
which looks neat.
Everyone, tell us some, indie JRPGs. I want to know. I want to see these. I want to look these up. The only indie game that I'm playing is Friday Night Funkin'.
Everybody loves that game. Apparently, it's super popular right now.
Mm-hmm. What do you know what it is, right?
It's like a music rhythm game, right?
Yeah, you're playing DDR. Of course, I'm gonna love it. But you're playing with your fingers. You're not playing on the feet. But yeah. I think that's the last question, Taylor. I think this is an early episode.
Early podcast. Yeah, I will say next episode there's going to be a 35th anniversary stream for Dragon Quest this week. So next episode we might have some cool Dragon Quest news.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with this guy?
Mm-hmm. People are like, what the hell are they doing?
Yeah. Real quick, Dragon Quest 35th anniversary. Let's each throw out two predictions. What are you predicting?
I predict the same MIDI music that sounds like shit. And there's gonna be slimes.
Wow. Those some bold predictions.
Bold predictions. Do you okay, here's a question. Do you actually think they're gonna show Dragon Quest 12?
I think they are. I think they are. Because Dragon Quest 11 came out a while ago now. Like, let's look this up. Dragon. Because obviously they've done the S version and whatever. But it came out in Japan wow, it was that long of a gap? Wow, okay. So it came out in Japan July of 2017. So it's been almost 5 years. Yeah. Or, excuse me, 4 years. Yeah. And then we got it September of 2018. So that's 3 years. So it's been a while. Like, I feel like they could show it and then it could be out next year, honestly.
Is it going to be...
And I hope
it's going to be
trying to do a worldwide release.
And it's going to be like... Dun, 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 dun. That's the generic Dragon Quest theme.
Oh, sure. Yep.
Of
course.
How about this? How do you think the fans would react if they went full orchestral and changed the themes up a bit?
Do it. I'm okay with that.
You're okay with that?
I mean, you keep the main theme. Obviously, they're going to keep the main theme, but then everything else, please change it.
Yeah, the main theme, right? But they're gonna. It has the main theme in it, but it's gonna be different. You know what I mean?
Different arrangement.
Yeah, different arrangement.
I wouldn't mind. It's been the same thing for so long. Like, at this point, I'm like, I'll take something new. It's fine.
Please make it like not MIDI. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
There's gonna be it's gonna be a couple mobile games. It's gonna be Dragon Quest Monsters or whatever it's called. Dragon Quest Builders 3. Dragon Quest Fighters.
Dragon Quest Fighters, that would be interesting.
Dragon Quest Kart Racer. Dragon Quest Golf.
Okay, clearly Nick is...
Dragon Quest Party.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
I mean, there's only one thing they can really show is just Dragon Quest 12. And then
I mean, that's not true. So they're doing this spin-off game called Dragon Quest it's like Dai or something like that, or Kai or something, and there's like a whole separate, there's like an anime going on right now, and there's a movie. So they might show more of that. I was thinking they might do another. So they did a Dragon Quest theater rhythm in Japan, but we never got it. So I'm wondering if maybe they do another one and we get that. That'd be kind of cool. But I think they're onto something with Builders. Builders is great, so I wouldn't be surprised if they did another Builders also.
What would you change in the new Builders?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Because you really played it, you really delved into those games, so.
I did, yeah. What would I change? Some of them got a little too into the story, because to me, the best part to me of Builders is that it's structured Minecraft, because Minecraft is just like, do whatever. But here it's like, okay, we need to build a base, get these materials, build a base. Okay, I built the base. All right, now we need places for our troops to live. Okay, you build the barrack or a place for the troops to live. And then it's like, well, now we need to up the vanity points to make it look nice. Okay, so make it look nice. So it's like you get all these little tasks. I would just have it be quest focused and not so story focused, because when it does that, like the combat's not good enough to carry like a big story like that. It's all about the crafting.
So
yeah,
would you want it to be full sandbox, which means you load in the game, right? You start a new start a new game, and it procedurally generates the entire world. You spawn into it, and you have the little intro, and then you just start exploring. It just gives you like, okay, go at it. It gives you the basics, and then you go at it, and you explore the world. And through exploring, you are able to find new villagers that you bring to your own place if you build houses. You find quests, and then you could find the main quest through just exploring the entire world. Just sprinkled out throughout the world, like a typical sandbox game.
that'd be kind of cool. Yeah, again, as long as it doesn't get too into the weeds with the story, like, yeah, that would be cool though. Keep the focus on building though, because it's called Dragon Quest Builders after all.
Make the building more in depth.
Make building great again.
Yes. Okay, guys, that is actually going to be the end of that episode. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for doing all this stuff. Thank you for supporting us. I know we're doing like bi-weekly episodes right now. It's kind of on purpose because we have something planned for the end of June. So Taylor doesn't even know. Okay. And but yeah, so we'll see you next episode. See ya.
Bye.